It's Taylor and Dollar Bill.
Good morning.
We're starting a little late, but it's 6:06. It's Friday.
It's my fault. I was telling a yarn and looked up and saw that I had gone over 6 o'clock. It's my fault. We're tardy.
That's
Sorry.
okay. You do whatever you want to do. And
No,
that's fine.
that's not good. I should not run over, but it's my fault.
It's perfectly okay. But it is Friday. It's June the 19th. It's Juneteenth. So with that being said, we're going to have some guests on later today to talk about the holiday and what it means for those of y'all that don't know. And we've got a lot of other things to talk about today too.
Yeah, Juneteenth is one of those holidays that was celebrated by a lot of black families, and really the white community wasn't very aware of it. It's it's kind of a private thing, celebration in a sense, and now they've made it official. So a lot of people this has been going on for a long time, but a lot of people have just now here in the last few years have heard about Juneteenth. So it's got a historical reference, and it's amazing that I didn't know about it until literally 4 or 5 years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And I consider myself a history nut. I like history, and I should have. This is from Civil War history, so it's pretty neat.
Yeah. It became a federal holiday in 2021. And so I really think, too, a lot of people that don't know and didn't celebrate it before then only know of it now because they're off work.
Yeah, that's it. Until it became, that's only when I heard about it was when they started debating it. And I probably knew about it in 19 or something, 2019, because I think it came into the forefront. People talked about it for a couple of years, and then it became an official holiday. So that's when I heard about it. But yeah, it's nice. So we'll have a couple of folks in to talk about what Juneteenth is and why it's celebrated and what the plans are around here. Because, it's one of those things that's, every community has their different celebrations or the way they celebrate. So we'll find out about Clanton and Chilton County.
Yep, that's right. And so for the weather today, we're still under a flood watch. It's expected to be under a flood watch until 7 p.m., at least here in Clanton. It's 74 and it's cloudy right now, but I think the rain, it's really unpredictable.
It really is. Well, in one sense, it's predictable. It's going to rain. It's one of those things, it's that summer thing where, of course, we had that tropical storm. What was it? It's an A. Andrew, Andy, something. It's first tropical storm of this season.
Yeah.
And it poured a lot of moisture into mainly Louisiana and Mississippi. Those poor folks have been flooded badly. I mean, they got one. I saw where one of them got one place, I think in Mississippi, got a year's worth of rain in 4 hours or something like that.
Is that where the
12
RV park
inches.
Flooded?
Yes.
I saw that.
Yeah.
The rain was like over halfway up their campers.
Right. It was. They had to rescue one guy out of a camper. Thank God it didn't float away or get. It must have been tied down good.
Yeah.
But they had to go up in a boat and break out a window with a pole and get him out into the boat to protect him, to save him.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's really scary.
Yeah, and there's a lot of areas like that. We've had, we went from drought to a pretty good bit of rain. But now, apparently, I haven't seen anything today or yesterday, but up until yesterday, they were still saying southern Alabama was still low on what was still in a drought condition. Which my mind won't let me believe it, but I guess it's true. I mean, to really get in the ground, because here's the problem: when it doesn't rain for a long time, of course, the ground and everything gets hard. So when it does rain, instead of soaking right in and going down into the earth and into the aquifers, it runs off.
Yeah,
and you get flooding. It goes to streams and rivers and goes away. And it doesn't start you've got to have enough rain for it to start soaking down. And then you get a little rain, it might get the top inch of soil soft, but that's it there. It still runs.
Yeah.
So I guess we need a more steady, slow rain, but it feels like we've had plenty, doesn't it?
It does. And the rain doesn't help, but today is National Flip-Flop Day.
National what?
Flip-flop day.
You mean like the shoe, the flip-flop?
Yeah. Which
I've
I
never
guess a lot of
worn
people...
flip-flops.
Really? Have you ever worn like slide-on sandals?
I'll tell you why. I can't stand anything between my toes.
Yeah, a lot of people are that way.
Flip-flops. And I don't know why, but I can't stand anything that doesn't have a heel. Huh. I don't like slides or sandals or anything that doesn't come up over your heel or where you flop when you walk.
Yeah.
Don't like that. So
you don't like the flip or the flop.
Yeah, I've never owned the flip or the flop, and I've never owned anything that my wife one time, or my ex-wife one time, bought me these really fashionable slides, and I tried shuffling around the house. Something about my feet. I can't. I gotta have something that grabs onto my ankle. My heel.
Yeah.
Because if I'm trying to, I found myself scooching everywhere I went to keep my shoes on. I'd go through the house like a train, choo 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 choo, like a choo choo train. Because she'd say, "Why aren't you picking up your feet? These dang shoes will come off." And sure enough, if I tried to walk, I'd walk right out of them.
Yeah.
My foot would, when I went to step, the shoe would stay on the ground and my foot would just come out of it.
It just takes some practice.
Does it? You have to learn how to,
Yeah, kids' flip-flops have the strap on the back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're kind of like trainer flip-flops.
That's what I need, trainer flip-flops.
Yeah. Well, there's another national holiday today.
So this is flip-flop day.
This is flip-flop day, but this is one I think you're going to like. It's National Eat an Oreo Day.
National Eat an Oreo Day?
Yeah.
Well, I like that. And it's Juneteenth.
That's right.
Wow, that's
so
cool.
The important holiday, two small holidays.
We can celebrate Juneteenth by eating an Oreo.
That's right.
And
I
wearing
have some in my
flip-flops.
purse, actually.
Do what?
I brought some in my bag.
Why is it in your bag and not on the table?
Well, I don't know.
You need to fix
you want
that.
One?
Of course.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break real quick and eat some
Oreos.
Oreos.
And it's great for Juneteenth because it's black and white.
That's right.
It's like ebony and ivory.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect. So we're going to go to break real quick. It's 6:13. We're going to go enjoy some Oreos for National Eat an Oreo Day. And you should, too.
Then I'll have it all in my tea. I need a glass of cold milk.
I know. I didn't bring any milk.
I know. I didn't
Just Diet Coke.
And I got my Monster drink. Thank you,
That'll
my baker.
do, I guess. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Taylor and Dollar Bill. Go get you a cup of coffee and some Oreos. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts, delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
We are back. It is 6:17, 17 minutes after 6 on this Friday morning, Juneteenth anniversaries. A lot of people not having to work. I guess maybe some folks aren't even up yet this morning if they got the day off.
I know, but we have one that's up.
Yeah.
And not in the comments today. He's live in studio.
He's actually here.
We have Brian here.
Brian Kelly with us. Hey, Brian. He's in.
I'm not going to
telling us
bully him
about
in
his-
person because I may get beat up. But I will say, we invited him to come tell us why he got kicked out of the Waffle House. And he said that he would, but Baden said it was a no-go. So for
You got
all
kicked
of
out
those,
of a Waffle House?
all of those watchers wondering why he's not allowed in the Waffle House,
I've
we
been
don't know
close
either.
to. I got
Maybe
close
that's
one
subscriber
time.
material.
Yeah, I got close to getting kicked out one time.
Really?
I had been imbibing in adult beverages.
Oh, yeah.
I was working a club one night.
Was that part of your issue? No.
No.
Man, it must have been real bad.
I was imbibing. I was working a club one night up in Birmingham. This has been 30 years ago, yeah, at least. And, you know, I was young and between marriages and I was single. So I was not only working the club, but I started near the end of my shift. I'd never drank while I was actually doing my job.
Yeah.
But, you know, when it got to be about 20 minutes before I was off, I'd have my first cocktail.
Take
And
a little
that night,
break.
for some reason, I decided it was party night, and I got overserved.
Oh, man.
It wasn't my
it was
fault.
not
They
your
overserved
fault.
me.
Yeah. It's
And-
never your fault.
Well, it wasn't that time because part of the deal when I worked the club is they would just, when I wanted to drink, they just give me free drinks.
Yeah.
So you can't let that kind of bargain go by.
No.
At least I thought I couldn't, and I overstimulated myself, and I got pretty drunk. So me and a buddy, thank God he was driving. He wasn't drinking that much, and we drove to, of course, Waffle House on South Side, where there's, I don't know if you've ever, there was one near UAB down there that if you went in after 2 a.m. on a weekend, you saw the menagerie of bizarreness that only Southside can provide. I mean, cross-dressing
Gosh.
people that had just come from the cross-dresser show, people who'd been out, you know, on motorcycles, you know, trying to whoop people's butts. I mean, you had the roughest of people, the craziest of people, the most exotic of people. And there I was, and there with my buddy, just taking it all in.
Did you almost get your butt beat by a cross-dresser?
I did.
Oh, my gosh.
Shamise almost beat me up.
What did you say to them
Them to they.
today?
I said, they? I said, I don't know. I wasn't being mean. I'm a happy, when I'm drinking, I just, something went awry. And
Yeah.
I don't think, I didn't mean to get them, but, you know, I'd been drinking. So when I did get confronted, instead of just acquiescing and de-escalating and just letting it go.
You got riled.
Well, I just got riled. And, you know, I try not to get riled.
Better to be riled than railed.
I don't know.
I mean.
This night, and it just happened that as me and
Especially at the Waffle House.
Cinnamon or whatever their
Cinnamon
name
sugar.
was, Cinnamon, whatever. Anyway, Cinnamon and I were kind of in each other's face, and thank God, I guess in a sense, the policeman came in.
Yeah.
They happened to come in to get something to eat, and they came in and broke us up, and they threatened to throw me in jail and all that, and Cinnamon too. I mean, it was,
Did
but
you at
we
least
were
get to
equally.
enjoy your meal first?
Yeah, I was near
served.
the end of my meal. I was in it, but it hadn't soaked in it yet to sober me up. So
Yeah.
it was not a proud night for me. Me and Cinnamon ended up having, we didn't shake hands, but we ended up kind of saying sorry, and policeman made us. And then we went about, Cinnamon went about having its pecan waffle.
I don't
Pecan
think
waffle.
you're at the Waffle House if they had pancakes.
Waffle House waffles, though,
Yeah,
are phenomenal,
they really are.
especially the
Brian
the
wouldn't
pecan.
know. He's
Well, he may have known in the past.
never had one.
But he may have, but he
You
hadn't
know
had one
what?
lately,
He's
and
not
he's
gonna
not
have
going to have
one
one for a
now.
while unless he goes
We
to
don't
another
have-
city.
Right. We don't have any this morning. He definitely don't have any this morning. But I do have Oreos. These are
Ooh.
some strange looking Oreos. I stole these from my husband. So Bailey, if you're watching, you ain't got no Oreos left.
Oh, we got
because
your-
it's
thank you.
National Eat an Oreo Day. They're stuffed
It's
of doom.
stuff of doom.
Masked decadence flavor. I don't even know what that means.
I don't either, and it's bizarre. Is the inside fluorescent glowing green?
It says they're color changing.
Color changing?
Yeah.
And we eat these?
I guess. I mean, it's Eat
Well,
an Oreo Day.
all right.
That's all I had.
When do they change color? While you're eating them? Or
I don't know if it's during
after you
or
swallow
after.
them? Do you
I
have to
don't
look
know.
later when you're...
You may have to.
I don't
know.
want to know.
Well,
Okay.
we could try them. There's 4. One for
I just
each of us.
okay.
Or 2 for each of us if y'all don't want one. You want one?
I just want to see what it looks like.
It's-
Oh my God, it's just black.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
black. What? When does it? Do I have to
I
will
don't
it
know.
to
Are you
change
going to
color?
try it?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course I am.
It just smells like Oreo. You have these?
It's got a different flavor.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's
Brian said if you dip it in milk, that it'll change color. We don't have any milk, but we've got Monster and Diet Coke.
I can't dip it in my Monster because it's got a little top. It's the cookie tastes the same, but I don't taste like the white.
It just tastes like all chocolate, no cream. Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
I don't either.
The cream is my favorite part.
Yeah, I like
like
the double
the-
stuffed.
Yeah, the most stuffed, delicious. I don't think that this is doing it for me for eating an Oreo day. I may have to go get some more Oreos.
I detect
What?
I guess it's just chocolate.
A box on Bailey? Oh. Apparently I owe Bailey an apology. We'll leave him the other
Who
two.
do you owe an apology?
My husband, because I stole his Oreos. I don't know when these change colors. It's
You,
not
wait a minute. How many of these have you eaten?
one now.
Your husband ate the whole pack except 4.
Yeah, and he's diabetic.
Oh, I don't think
He
you
may
owe
not
him an
even be
apology.
alive
You
to
saved his
apologize
life.
to.
You just saved his life
Yeah.
and tried to kill me. I'm diabetic.
Bill, I'm gonna be honest, if the
You're like a Black Widow.
I think that no.
Yeah, you are. You're trying to kill
I
all
think if all those monsters you drink don't take you out, you're gonna be all right eating an Oreo.
the monsters are what keep me going. They make my heart beat.
I know if you quit
That's
drinking
my.
those,
This is my defibrillator.
that's right. If you quit drinking them, you'll be
Yeah, I die
yeah.
right
You
away.
just have to keep drinking them.
I drink, 10 or 12 a day.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of drinking, thank you to Coca-Cola. Mr.
Yes.
Mike Baker came and
Mike Baker,
restocked
thank you for
us.
buying monster drinks.
That's
They
right.
all know. They make fun of me because, I drink a cup of coffee or 2 in the morning before I get here. I get up like at 4, fix a cup of coffee, then take a shower. Mary is kind enough. This morning she sent me out the door with a fresh cup of
Aw,
travel coffee
look
and a
at her.
travel mug. Yeah.
Did you get her switched to YouTube to watch us?
No, but I'm going to because
Oh.
Mary has a sickness. It's a
gonna
bad
be calling.
sickness. It is move crap around constantly sickness. So she's got a little desk that I bought her because she wanted her computer, which is a all-in-one computer, in her bedroom, in this little place, but it was small. So I found on Marketplace a small desk
Yeah.
And I went and got it. The guy was really nice. When he pulled it out of the wall, it had been in a house that his granddaddy owned or something. He didn't notice that the side was a little messed up, which ended up cleaning up fine. So he took another $10 off. It was a good deal.
Wow.
So I take this little desk home, and Mary puts it in her bedroom right where, and it fit perfectly, and it was great. And then that sickness hits her. It does it about every 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah. We did talk about this.
Yeah,
the rearranging.
Everything's got to be moved. So I'm sitting in the living room watching TV and doing something on my phone, and I hear all this noise. And I turn and look, and she's dragging the desk all the way down the hall from the bedroom into the parlor. We have a room that's a parlor, and puts it in there, and it comes in with her computer and her cables, and it takes like 2 hours to get move the sofa that was where the computer, and just this complete rearrangement of the parlor. And then I see her I get up to go to the bathroom or something. She's sitting at her new little desk position,
So
playing
proud
on the
of herself.
computer. And an hour later, I went outside to check the bird feeders and do something. I came back in, and it's all rearranged again. I hear her dragging the desk back down to the bed. She did this 3 times in one day. Moved. I mean, this isn't like moving it from here to across the room or 7 feet. No,
Across
this is
the
down a
house.
hallway and down through a room. And anyway,
It just wasn't the right spot.
so every time she does that, of course, she has to unplug and undo the computer, and I have to help her get it set back up because she's not very computer savvy. Sorry, Mary. It's truth. And so I haven't been able to sit down and show her how to do it on YouTube. She doesn't quite understand the YouTube thing. She's been watching us on Facebook, which she can do. As you know, she's called a few times. We had to walk her through a little of that. So baby steps.
Well, I was about to take a break for you and let you not have to talk to her on air, but Baden just left, so I think he's not with
I
that.
hear somebody him talking. I don't know if it's Brian
I
out
think
in
him
the
and
hall.
Brian are in there eating biscuits.
Oh, that's
He said
right.
he brought biscuits.
Brian bought us some sausage biscuits.
Yeah.
Obviously not from Waffle House.
Not from the Waffle House, no.
He's the only guy I know that's been banned from Waffle House.
I know,
He's
and
kind
from
of a celebrity.
2 locations.
Well, he's banned from the Clanton
Yeah.
Waffle House locations.
Oh, Baden's back. Okay. Now, Mary, you can call and get on to Bill for talking about you this morning.
Yes.
Or on to us for something being wrong, because
Sorry.
she's on top of it. She
She
is
does. Now, she does call when we have technical problems.
And I love it.
she's-
She's not IT, but she's definitely,
Well, she's quality control.
quality control.
Now, this
Quality
is not,
assurance.
This is not new for her, because I used to be at the radio station on the air, and that hotline would ring, and we'd look down at the caller ID, and they'd
be
look up and go,
Mary.
Mary.
Oh, no.
So sometimes I'd answer it live on the air. A few times that burned me, but it worked. First thing I'd say is I'd answer the phone. I'd go click. I'd say, you're on the air. Don't cuss. First thing
That's okay.
you're on the
Baden's
air. Don't
got
cuss.
the beeping, the little beeping button over there.
Yeah, but the
So-
the beeping button is only if you have the delay. In Mary's case, she could say something and it'd be nasty word beep.
Yeah.
It'd be afterwards because it's
I mean,
live.
that kind of makes it more fun, you know?
Well, no, it doesn't. It's
No,
not
you
with the
don't think so?
FCC. No,
Oh, okay.
FCC doesn't think it's fun.
No. Well, we better go to break then because
Yeah, because we don't want to get a
just can't
fine.
beep fast enough.
Right.
No.
Of course, we
So-
don't have to worry about the FCC.
That's right. But we could get flagged on Facebook.
That's true.
Yeah, Brian's been reported more times. He's about to get kicked off Facebook too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why he's here live. He couldn't watch
Yeah.
us.
Some people go to Facebook jail.
He's been in Facebook jail.
I have a
yeah.
friend that went to Facebook jail 2 or 3 times.
Oh my
She
gosh.
had to keep changing her.
We need to do
names.
his mugshot while he's here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I've
think
got a
that's a good
Waffle
idea.
House name tag I could put on him. I'm an official Waffle House employee
I
almost.
think because you're an official Waffle House employee, we should be able to go in on his behalf and say, "Hey, let this man in Waffle House."
I guess I could. I could lobby on his behalf.
Yeah. We should do that. We need to make that plan.
We did the Waffle House World Tour back a few years ago where we went to about 10 different Waffle House locations all over 5 counties,
Yeah.
And we had big acts come. We had I'm trying to think of all the ones that I know we had. Now they've all left my head. We had Big Axe come spend the morning with us.
That's
And
cool.
it was really cool. It really was. And at each I went to one location, and they made me an official waffle. They gave me the guy from corporate gave me a Waffle House name tag, the official one. He gave me a hat, a shirt, and a skillet.
Wow.
Yes, I have a Waffle House, that little silver.
So you can make
waffle.
a pancake in your Waffle House skillet.
I can, and I can do it. And they trained me on how to crack an egg with one hand the Waffle House way.
That's
And I
good to
still do
know.
it to this day.
Huh.
I practice it because if you'll forget, you hold it like a softball and you crack it a certain way and open it. Throw away.
That's pretty cool.
I can do it and it doesn't even break the yellow. Mary's impressed.
Brian would be too.
Yeah, well, sure, because
Yeah.
anything with Waffle House would impress him now.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to go to break. It's 6:32. It's Friday, June the 19th. In the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have a couple of guests coming to talk with us about Juneteenth. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss it. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Taylor and Dollar Bill. We'll be right back.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America. Welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts. Delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Good morning. 6:35 is our time. 25 minutes away from 7 o'clock. We got guests coming in about 7 o'clock to talk about Juneteenth, today's holiday. I guess is it a federal holiday?
It is.
So there's no mail service today, and
No
I guess
mail, no banks.
no banking. Yeah.
No.
They get all the
Nope.
holidays. My wife
I
was
know.
a banker, and they got all kind of days off. They got Flag Day and stuff.
I know. They get
I
all
worked at a
kinds.
radio station. We worked Christmas Day,
Oh my
Christmas
gosh.
Eve, New Year's Day, Yeah, I mean, radio didn't stop.
Yeah.
Ever.
I know. I worked at a bank and I got all those holidays. Well, now I work at a preschool and we go by the public school calendar. But at Christmas, we have an extra week off. So we have
Ooh,
3
nice.
weeks off. But I'm wanting to know, why did I sign up for this where we don't have any holidays?
Why did I pick it for my profession, for my life?
Like at my other job, I'm off almost a
no.
month at a time.
It's funny. Radio
it's
is
the
a
craziest
whole different beast, a whole different way of thinking.
It is.
Because I used to, when I first got into radio, and you're new, the older guys, the ones that have paid their dues and have been there a while, they get a few perks. Sometimes they'd let the morning people off for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day if it fell on a work day. Mm-hmm. Now, if Christmas Eve was Friday and Christmas Day was Saturday, they usually had to work Friday. I mean, or if it was Saturday and Sunday, yeah. But if it was in the weekday, they would give them a couple of days off. So someone had to fill in, and it always fell on the newbies, or the younger ones who had not paid their dues yet. So there was many a year that, and it's funny. You just know you're going to work it. So. Like for my family, I have a big family, and we always had a big Thanksgiving meal on Thanksgiving. Well, our Thanksgiving, we normally had our meal about 1 o'clock. We'd have it early. Some people wait and do it for dinner, for supper. And we did it for noon dinner, 1 o'clock or so. Well, if I had to work early, my family was kind enough to just make it later so I could get off work and go, and we could have our family Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
If I had to work later, they'd have it even earlier, maybe 11 o'clock, whatever they needed to do. So I was really lucky because my family they were sensitive to my needs,
That's so good.
Me too. I really appreciated it. But, there was times, my sister Barbara one time, I was working up in Muscle Shoals, Florence, Alabama, and Christmas fell on like a Friday morning, So I worked Thursday, Christmas Eve mornings. I did Christmas Eve morning up there and drove home to Birmingham from 2.5 hour drive, 3 hour drive. Drove home, spent Christmas Eve night with my family. I wasn't married then.
Yeah.
Really nice, and I got to spend Christmas Eve, and we sat around, had our eggnog, and did a present or two, and, it was Christmas Eve at home. But I had to get up the next morning at 1:30 or so.
Oh, my gosh.
And hit the road because I had to do the next morning, Friday morning. It was Christmas Day, and I had to work it.
Oh, my goodness.
So I got up at 1 o'clock to hit the road and drive all the way up to Florence to be there by 5 o'clock or whatever, maybe 2 o'clock. My sister Barbara got up. I have 3 sisters. She's the oldest. She got up with me.
Aww.
And when I was coming through the kitchen getting my keys to go up to Florence, she was all dressed, had her cup of coffee, and said, "I'm going with you." And I went, "Oh my God!"
Aww,
So she rode with me up to
nice.
Florence, 2.5 hour drive. Sat in there when I did the morning show, and this kind lady who had no family had fixed the entire radio station breakfast.
Oh, wow.
And brought it because there was 2 FMs and an AM. So there was, about 6 people working Christmas morning.
Yeah.
And so she brought this feast in there. She had made like a little buffet, set it up in our lobby, and we all sat and had breakfast together.
How
and then
nice.
and then Barbara, my sister, and I got in the car, came home and I got to spend Christmas Day, from about 11 a.m. on, or no, noon or so on, maybe 1, I don't know. But yeah, that was radio. You just knew you pretty much had to work. Any day you had to work, you had to work it.
Yeah.
They fix a few things, but not much back. Nowadays, everything is so automated, and there's so much computerized stuff. Nobody has to work a holiday hardly.
Yeah.
You can just put in a little bit of work ahead of time and pre-tape a show or do it and put it in the computer, and the computer will run it. And a lot of them, you don't know that it's not live. I mean, it's amazingly good, but it's also bad because you expect to be live. You want them to be there, but sometimes they're not.
Sometimes
but you don't
they're
know
not.
it.
But we are.
We
We're
are.
live.
We're here on
That's right.
Juneteenth.
Yep. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and on our streaming radio.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you
Channel.
for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate
Yes.
everybody who tunes in the Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio.
We absolutely do. Well, it's 6:41. We don't have a producer in here to go to break. But I do have a story about private property on the beach.
Do you have a story?
I do.
Okay.
I didn't know that you could mandate where people could and couldn't go on the beach. Thought it was kind of like the river, where you could have a place on the beach,
But you don't own the water.
You don't own the water. But apparently that is not the case, because there is a condo in Perdido Key. It's called Seafarer Condos. They have hired an attendant to sit on the beach and let people know that they're not allowed in that area.
I kind of knew that. I think
Really?
you can swim anywhere you want.
But on the sand.
But once you hit the land, I
Huh.
think if you own coastal property, I think it's your property to the water.
Yeah.
You don't own the water. And, you might own it a certain distance. I don't know, but I know that they can't, like they can block off their property line. And I don't think they can stop you from walking,
Yeah.
traversing it, but they can stop you from stopping and putting a blanket down or an umbrella
Setting
or a
up
chair
camp.
and sitting on their property.
Yeah.
I think I
never
knew that
knew
was
that.
possible, but
So-
I don't think they can stop you from walking it.
I thought that they could rent out the chairs and the umbrellas, and that was their property, but I didn't know that you couldn't set up your own stuff.
Yeah, I think some resorts do that.
Yeah.
They have, and if you ever go to, of course it's another country, but if you go to some of these other countries, resorts in the Caribbean or Caribbean, however you say it, and in Mexico, Cancun, places like that, they definitely own their property, because they'll actually, like in Jamaica, they sometimes have armed guards
Oh my gosh.
at the beach on each end of this thing, and they'll tell you if you start wandering down the beach, the guard will stop you and say, I wouldn't go past here.
Yeah.
Or they might tell you can go to the next resort because they're okay, but I wouldn't go past that
Oh, my
because
goodness.
there's bandits and these, mainly in Jamaica, it's these people trying to do your hair,
yeah.
or sell you something, and they will absolutely. They have no boundaries, and they will
Yeah.
drive you crazy trying to sell you trinkets or rob you or whatever. So they actually have guys with like M16s or whatever at each end of their property, and
Yeah.
they keep the bandits and the purveyors away, but they also are there to protect their clients, make you feel safe while you're there.
Yeah. Well, this guy don't have a gun. He's just sitting out in his
Yeah.
chair. They've got a sign set up that says this area of the beach is private property. But the only thing about it is that their location is unique because it's located directly next to a public beach access.
Yeah, well, that may be
it's
why
a
they
really
do it then.
narrow, public beach access. I guess kind of one like the little piers that you can walk
Yeah.
out to the beach. But there's been a lot of confusion
Yeah,
because of
well,
that.
that could be. I guess people just think the beach is unlimited. You can go anywhere you. And again,
Yeah.
I don't think they can stop you from traversing it. I think they can only stop you from parking there. From putting your butt down or using facilities there. Because let's face it, if they've really fixed up their area with nice chairs and umbrellas, and they, even if they don't rent them, if it's for their guest, then it's in there. They've got to protect it, because then strangers are just taking. Who knows?
Yeah.
So I see it. I don't know that.
I guess maybe the bracelets. A lot of condos and hotels do the bracelets, and I always thought they were just for the pool area, but that may be why they do those too, for the beach. That way they can
Might
keep
be.
the
I know that we used to spend a lot of time at the Holiday Inn Resort. They used to call it the Sun Spree, but they changed it to simply the Holiday Inn Resort in Panama City.
Yeah.
And we used to do remotes down there and stay down there a lot doing, promoting it. Mm-hmm. And they did that. They have the thing, and it is they've got like a special kiddie area up by the pool that's one of those little fantasy lands with the buckets.
like the
It's no
splash
more than about
pads.
4 inches deep of water.
Yeah.
And that's for the children, and they do movies at night, and of course it's supposed to be only for the guests. So they all, you're supposed to wear your armband even to go down to the beach, because they have beach chairs, and you can buy packages when you get the room that get you 4 chairs for 3 days of the week, or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have to control it. They can't let just some Joe who's staying 2 blocks down at something just come take a chair if that's part of the deal. So
yeah,
even
I
Panama.
used to be like, why are people buying chairs and renting chairs at the beach? Now that I'm carrying my own chair to the beach, I 100% understand it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you don't see it as much.
No, I don't do beach chairs anymore anyway. For one, once I get down that low in a beach chair, no getting up. Not unless
Yeah.
I enlist the help
You
of
just
about
roll
6
out.
people. I can roll out, but I'm still like a beach whale. I still need somebody to get my white, swollen butt up,
White,
And with my legs,
non-flip-flop
I can't
wearing.
walk on the beach anyway. I look like an idiot.
Oh, my
And
gosh.
I'm so white that I don't wear. I don't go without much of clothes. I like to be kind of covered up
Yeah.
at the beach. So I go to the beach looking like Lawrence of Arabia, with things covering everything, all white. I look like, I should be on a camel, and sunscreen and all that. So I don't go to the beach anymore at my age. It's just one of those things I just can't do now
Yeah.
in my 70s.
No
Physically
beach, all
and
balcony.
all balcony or pool. I can go down and sit by the pool.
Yeah.
I like that. And I can stay covered up kind of, and they usually have some shady areas, and I can still look at the young girls in the pool in their
my
bikinis,
goodness.
which is the only reason I go
Gross.
to. No, it's not gross. Gross is if I was going to approach them or be creepy. I'm just sitting there enjoying the view.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
Well-
at least I'm honest about it.
Speaking of pools, I have another story about a pool party that happened in Birmingham. You might have been there.
I might have.
Have you been at a pool party lately?
Not lately.
Oh, well, probably not then. But when we come back from break, I'll tell you about it too. So stick around. When we come into the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have our guests with us for Juneteenth, just to talk about that. And today is National Eat an Oreo Day. So don't eat the ones we ate because they're not very good.
I didn't.
They weren't my favorite.
I won't buy them.
No. But go get you some Oreos today to celebrate that.
And Juneteenth.
And Juneteenth. In the meantime, we're going to take a break real quick, go refill your coffee, put on your flip-flops. We'll be back in just a minute.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Good morning. It's 6:50, 10 away from 7. We're glad you're with us on this Friday morning, Juneteenth. And going into the weekend, we're 1 week away tomorrow from the Peach Jam, or
That's
really
right.
today from the start of the Peach Festival.
That is
They do
right.
Friday and Saturday, and it's going to be exciting. 1 week from today.
Yep.
And so be ready to have a good time with that. That's going to be great. We got Tracy Bird as the main act on Saturday night. He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do the watermelon crawl.
I'm telling you. We've got Cam Cummings. He's opening up, or one of the opening spots for Tracy Bird, and also Grayson Russell. Both of them are local,
Yeah, great.
hometown boys.
Grayson's a nice kid. I remember meeting him when he was pretty little, and then I saw him again like a few years later, and he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Just always very pleasant, really nice, down to earth guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was a singer.
Yes.
So I'd love to hear it.
I know. I'm excited. He just came back from CMA Fest, which he lives in Nashville now, but he finished up CMA Fest. He performed a lot at CMA Fest. But right after we had his mom, Miss Crystal, on.
Oh, yeah, she's local.
Yes, she's
And
local.
Doesn't
And-
she perform? Isn't she a comedian or something?
Yes. Her comedian, what would it be, like persona, is Claudine Louise. And she does like Christian
Claudine
comedy.
Louise?
Yes.
I love it.
But his whole family are performers. His dad sang. And
Yeah, I remember
I believe
hearing
Miss
that.
Crystal sings too.
Really?
Yeah.
They got talent in their genes.
So much talent.
None in my family.
But, before we went to break, I did tell you that I had a story about a pool party.
Pool party
You
in
said you enjoy
Birmingham.
going to the pool. Yes. There was a short-term rental that had the police called on them because of noise violations, all that. Well, the police went and
So
it
they were
said,
having a party at the pool?
a party, yes. It said that there were 50 to 60 guests at the house.
It's a big
when they
party.
went out. Well, I guess they just gave them a warning. And then all throughout the day, they kept getting calls. Well, by the end of the night, it was 4 p.m. when they went out at first. So all throughout the afternoon, they kept getting calls. By the end of the night, when they went in, they said there was an estimated several hundred people at this
Holy
short-term
cow.
rental in this neighborhood. Yes. So they ended up getting in trouble. The homeowner ended up getting in trouble. And now they are questioning if they should put more violations on short-term rentals. Because it said
like
the
Verbo
party,
or whatever it is where you can just rent a...
yeah, like Verbo or like
Yeah.
Airbnb. Because it said that there should have already been citations written when they first went because it is against the zoning restrictions to have short-term rentals there.
Oh, really? So they shouldn't have
They
even
shouldn't
had
have
it
even
in the
been there.
first place.
Yeah.
No
But-
wonder the owner's in trouble.
Right, and now they're trying to ban short-term rentals because it is a residential area.
Well,
What do you think?
Was it in an apartment? A condo or apartment where was it like a shared pool that they basically took over because they were renting one unit?
From my understanding, it was a home.
Okay.
But it was in like a
Neighborhood. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's not good.
No.
Now, if it was a condo or a apartment type building, and that's really not good.
Yeah.
Because then they basically took over the facilities where the people that live there full time were be inconvenienced and irritated.
Yeah.
In a neighborhood, same thing. You've got, even if you don't have like an HOA, the whole point is you've got neighbors on either side, and I can't imagine if there
That's
was
what
that
I
many
was
people,
thinking.
there must have been cars everywhere.
Yeah. It said at the end of the article that there were like hit and runs. Like,
Yeah.
because of all of the
Sure,
cars.
all the cars and them.
That there were
Apparently, there was
accidents,
a
all
partying
kinds of-
going on, so there was probably a lot of drinking.
I can't imagine, yes. I can't imagine that they didn't say anything the first time they went because 50 to 60 people at a house and a pool
Well, I don't know. We've had
is
probably.
bananas.
We've had at my house, I had a party one time that probably had over the, it was a come and go when it was like an open house party.
Yeah.
But we probably had 50 people.
That's
But-
crazy.
Well, I mean, it was come and go. So, I mean, at
But
any
they weren't
one
all
time.
like at the pool.
Yeah, and I didn't have a pool.
Oh, okay.
But they were in the yard and on the deck and everywhere else. But it was regular people. They were just quiet. If we had music playing, I know I did out on the deck, it was, your neighbors couldn't hear it. It was cocktail music or whatever, just low. Nobody went crazy. Everybody was respectful and we did, it was great, but there was no problem.
Yeah.
But then again, if it had gotten loud or something, I would have expected the neighbors to be here. And I checked with them. I told them I was having matter of fact, I invited them to it. And then no, they didn't come, but because they couldn't. But I also checked with them afterwards and said, were we in it? Was there? And they said, we didn't even know you. There's no problem. And I was in an area where the parking wasn't a problem either, because we were in a neighborhood, but we're on 3-acre lots and we got plenty of frontage. And I had a long driveway and a big parking pad, so that wasn't a problem. But in a regular neighborhood in Birmingham, probably on South Side somewhere, I could see that being horrible. Now the police, I'll give them this. If they went at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it was summertime and nice, and you had 50 people in a house, in the house or in the yard and in the pool, that's spread out. That isn't unreasonable, perhaps.
Yeah.
And if the music was loud and the people were getting loud, then I can see the police. You give them a chance. Say, look, we got calls. Turn the music down. Hold it down. Don't go crazy. But if they got more, they should have, the second time they showed up and there was 70 people there. And then as they came back and there was 100 and then 100.
There's no reason it ended up being
they
several
should have
hundred.
probably
That's
shut
wild.
it down.
That's like house party gone wild.
Right, it is. And it's unreasonable, especially in a one-time short-term rental, like a one night, one day. And that was the homeowner just trying to make a big bunch of money, I'd assume.
Yeah.
And anyway, but if it that bad to the neighbors, that's wrong. He should be severely punished for that one.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is, what if somebody came to him and wanted to rent it and said, we're going to have a little pool party. It's only going to be about 15 people, just family and friends. And then they were lying to him.
Oh, yeah, and he didn't know.
He may have had no idea they were going to pull that kind of thing and have that many people show up and all. Then he becomes, in a sense, the victim of that. The problem is, they said there was no variance for short term in that neighborhood, so he is at fault.
Yeah.
But had it been a variance and he could have done the short term rental, then he might have been more of a victim than a purveyor of the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
50 to 60 people sound like a lot to me, but I think it's just because I don't like that many people.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I especially don't want to swim with that many people.
No.
No.
That's like the sign that a friend of mine had at his outdoor pool. It said, OOL, OOL. It said, notice there's no P in my pool. Keep it that way.
Yeah, because with that many people, even if it's people that you trust,
there's going to be
somebody's bound, especially if there's drinking going on.
And if there's kids.
And kids, yeah. Let me tell you about Deason, poor guy. He has swim lessons. He's been going to swim lessons the past 2 weeks.
How old is he now?
He's 4.
4.
So I see him. Well, no, this was last week when he was crying every day anyway. And he went to swim lessons last year. He was fine. Well, this year, the first week he did lessons, there was this little boy on his swim lessons that was scared. And he boo-hoo cried every time they had to jump in. Well, Deason's never had a problem jumping in the pool.
Now?
But this week he did, because I asked him, I said, why are you crying? Are you scared? And he said, yeah. And I said, why are you scared? And he said, well, because this boy cries and I cry with him because we're scared together.
That's sweet, but it's negative.
He gets it from me. He's an empath.
That's okay. I think that's wonderful. But how do you get around that?
Right. Like, he would just be looking at me, boo-hoo crying, and I'm sitting in my car like, go jump in the pool. I know you jump in the pool.
Well, can you go in when that other kid's not there?
Well, we went this week. We only got to go 2 days because of the weather. But he was jumping in like a frog, like he had never had any issues before.
Right, it was the other kid.
Yeah.
That's sweet that he's an empath like that. That he's sensitive. I think that's a positive. I don't think that's a negative.
It really gypped me out of $100 because he didn't learn anything.
Yeah, he did. He learned how to cry when he was not jumping in the pool.
Well, this week,
Well, he did learn empathy.
yeah, he did learn empathy. Well, this week he's jumping in, and I look up, he's crying again. And I'm like, what's going on?
What
so
happened?
I get out and I go, I'm like, what's wrong, baby? Well, I noticed that he was dancing around, and I was like, maybe he, has to go to the bathroom. He's dancing around crying. I go up there, and he's like, Mom, I peed on Miss Jenny's deck. I peed on her porch. And I was like, well, did you pee in the pool? And he's like, no. And I
You
was
did
like,
good. We can
"That's
hose that
fine."
off.
So I carry him over to the water hose, spray him down, I'm like, I'm going to spray off your stairs. And she's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. He's crying now because he's peed on her deck.
Well, that's sweet. At least he feels responsible.
I know. But we're going to try again next week if it's not raining. And hopefully...
A friend of mine, he was crying the
time's
other
the
day because
charm.
I peed on his deck. So
I bet he was. Were
Yeah.
you crying?
No.
No.
I
At least you didn't
I
pee in
peed
his
on his
pool.
deck
Yeah.
and his living room,
Oh.
kitchen.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break real quick. That way people might just skirt past that one because that's a little embarrassing. It's
Just
7:01. It's 7:01. We have guests coming this hour. Mr. Robert Binion and Leonard Rogers is coming to talk with us about Juneteenth. So you're going to want to stick around. You may learn something that you didn't know. In the meantime, enjoy a word from our sponsors. You're tuning in to Morning Mayhem with Taylor and Dollar Bill. We'll be right back.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
There's a pride that comes from employing over 6,000 people in America, welding, fabricating, assembling with local and global parts, delivering a machine just right for you. Japanese engineering meets American ingenuity that builds on our 50-year legacy of quality, reliability, and durability that makes us the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. These aren't just machines. This is a way of life. And that's why Kubota is investing hundreds of millions right here at home. Because we won't settle on what was good enough yesterday. We're innovating with inspiration from the hard-working men and women that proudly sit on our equipment every day. So you can be sure that every one of us have you in mind when a machine or implement comes down that line. We know how hard you work. We'll do the same. This is Kubota.
Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Mayhem. So today we have two very special guests with us. We have Mr. Robert Binion and Mr. Leonard Rogers. How are y'all today?
I'm fine.
Good.
I'm fine.
How are you, Taylor?
Thank you guys
Good.
for
We're
coming in
very
and on a
good.
holiday.
Yes.
That's what we want to talk about Juneteenth. I was telling you guys when you came in, I feel kind of bad about this, but I never had heard of Juneteenth until probably 10 or 12 years ago, and then I didn't really know what it was for a few years because it was just talked about, but not specifically about the history and what it stands for. So I apologize for that, but it's become quite the holiday now, and it's recognized nationally.
National.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And even the governor signed off on it.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
The governor.
And
Well, it should. They should. I mean, it's a big holiday, and it's historical. What is the beginning? What started Juneteenth? What does it stand for? What's it about?
well, it was all part of the emancipation process. That the emancipation actually was signed by President Lincoln in 1862, and it was enacted January 1st, 1863. But what Juneteenth represents is that the people, there was a Galveston, Texas, did not receive this information until June 19th, 1865.
All right, so the
that's-
Civil War that was over in April of
that's of
65.
April of
These poor
65,
guys
that's right.
out in Texas
They
were
were
still living under slavery and thought they
living-
were still
Right.
In chains.
enchained.
In bondage. So
and the words finally got
And
to
it
them on
finally got
June
to them.
19th that they
So-
were free.
So the term culminated from the June 19th. So they combined the word to be
Juneteenth. I think it's neat.
So, but fast forwarding, Juneteenth didn't become a recognized federal holiday until, oh, I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
okay.
My wife calls me all the time.
But it didn't become a recognized federal holiday until 2021.
Right.
Right.
That's when I really started
That-
paying attention to it.
And to be
Yeah.
honest with you, what happens is that the information kind of has gotten disseminated. Now we know in our culture today, in today's society, there is a separation, there is a divide between
Sure.
our nation. So this is not just a black holiday.
No.
This is not, and as we were preparing also to celebrate 250 years on
Right.
July 4th.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it and think about the magnitude of what freedom really means.
Right.
I had the distinct pleasure of serving 20 years in the United States Air Force, the greatest fighting Air Force in the world.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your
So-
service.
So
Thank you.
Thank you.
we come with an opportunity to bring reflection back to our communities,
Yeah.
and a reflection of understanding, reflection of heritage, reflection of dedication and commitment to what this holiday really means. And it just simply means that we now have the opportunity to embrace freedom. Just
Yeah.
as everybody else.
Yeah, June 19th basically was the final day when everybody recognized of the freedom of,
yes,
of being enslaved and the end of that.
That's right.
And, I think that's phenomenal. I don't care. I mean, I know there are racist people that might argue, but, nobody that I know of would ever believe that slavery was anything but abhorrent and horrible.
Right.
And it shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Right.
But it should have ended, and thank God it did.
Thank God.
That's all this celebrates is finally everybody came to their head because, most of the rest of the world had already stopped that. And America, of course, the South, we were so dependent upon it. We hung on to it and fought for it, and it's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And believe me, I'm a Southerner going 4 generations. But it was horrible.
Yes, it was.
And so Juneteenth, I know there's some people that think it is a black holiday. It is not. It's an American holiday celebrating that moment when we finally lived up to the Constitution.
That's right.
That all men are created equal and freedom should be for everybody. So I think it's great. And I love an excuse to celebrate something wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I say to you this morning, since you love celebration, and I do too. I've had 3 Juneteenth events since.
Really?
Yeah, I've had 3.
Really?
And I think you was at one of them, I believe, wasn't you? I don't know, but anyway, you was at the Dr. King.
Yes, sir, it was Dr. King.
But anyway, what I'm saying, I've been celebrating it ever since I could. It's because I know slavery was, my daddy was about 20 years out of slavery.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
20 years out of slavery.
That's unbelievable.
He was 20 years out of slavery. And, he worked hard, give you the shirt off his back. And I celebrate, and some say I'm crazy for just keep on. I'm going to celebrate Juneteenth until I die.
There you
Yeah.
go.
If don't nobody come but me, I told him that. If don't nobody be in the parade today but me, just send my escorts. I done paid him for the escorts. Send me my escorts. I done paid you.
Yeah.
And we're going to have I got a pig on the, I told you I had
I know.
2
You said you done 2.
I done 2.
Oh my goodness.
And you're welcome to come get it.
I'll be there. But
All right.
I'm gonna find out where. Now, do y'all have a parade today?
Yes.
Where is it? What is it?
It starts at 12 o'clock.
Noon
We
today.
line up at 12. We start over that through the Grace of God Minister Street. I couldn't get the whole town this time. Somebody talked to me out and let me have the whole city
Aw.
like I do Dr. King. I just have the whole city. I come through the whole city, but they kind of talked to him, and so I'm just doing a partial Juneteenth parade.
That's all right.
Yeah.
A parade,
But it's a parade.
but it's a
That's
parade.
right.
By golly, that's the way it should be.
But y'all welcome to attend, and we're gonna have 2 wild hogs. They wild hogs, but they've been
Really?
dressed, and it's some good eating meat.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I
pinched
love
off
it.
it all night last night. So it's gonna be a parade. Somebody just called me a few minutes ago, asked me, was the parade still on? The parade is on. I got an umbrella if I need
right.
it. I got boots if I need them. The boots on the ground today.
There you go. Boots on the ground.
That's
Right.
Well, you know what? I used to do. For years, I used to march in the like the Veterans Day parade.
Right.
Yeah.
And there were some years it was pretty rainy and all, but at least in the South, at this time of year, at least it's not cold.
This-
No.
That's right.
You know, you might get a little wet,
Yeah,
but you ain't gonna
but not-
freeze to
that's
death.
right.
That's right.
Well, with the, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay. You talked about your dad and how he was only 20 years out from slavery.
Yeah.
I know me and Mr. Bill were talking before the show about how he remembers the segregation when he was growing up. And I think, especially for my generation, I'm 31, it feels like it's so far away, but it really wasn't.
Oh,
at
listen,
all.
I'm 73, and I was telling her, I remember when I was in about the 3rd or 4th grade, this would have been in the late 50s or early 60s, I went to the Birmingham Zoo. And my mom and dad and my sisters and I were doing the zoo, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the restroom, and there was the men, just said men. So I go in there, and it's a nice big marble floor bathroom, stalls with the doors, urinals, sinks. And when I came out, I was thirsty, so there was a water fountain there. And it was one of those really nice ones in granite with the stainless steel and the bubbling cold water. And I put my foot on the foot thing, and water came out, and it was wonderful. I went back to meet my mom and dad and my sisters, and as we went around the corner, I looked, and there was this closet on the outside of the building. It had this old beat up door that didn't even have a handle. It was just a hole where the doorknob had been. And it just an old door hiding. And I looked in there, and there was this big sink like they have for mops and stuff, and this nasty toilet that looked like a broken toilet there, and no place to wash hands or anything other than that nasty mop buck thing. And then I looked up, and over it said colored. Not men, not women, just colored. And it was horrible. And I remember as a second or third grader thinking, what in the world? And then I looked, and the water fountain for the colored was the pipe coming out of the ground that you hook the hose to.
That's right.
So if you wanted water, you had to get down like. And I remember I went over and asked my parents, and my parents, they were racist. This sounds horrible to say, but they were reasonably racist. My dad was not really racist. He was a dentist. He was one of the first dentists in Birmingham that he didn't discriminate. You were his patient. You came in. You sat in the same waiting room with everybody.
Amen.
You went back. Yeah, he just was that way. So he was decent, although, I can't tell you, he didn't have his bias as a Southern
right.
And he grew up in the 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I asked him about it, and I remember my mother went into this long thing about explaining that things were, and it didn't make any sense to me, I'll be honest with you.
A third grade.
A third grader,
Yeah.
second or third grader, and I'd never understood that. And it bothered me. And, I had an uncle that was so racist, it was unbelievable. I loved that uncle. He was good to me, but I was always shocked at his racist thoughts and talks. But later in life, now get this guy was a horrible racist. And then when he got older and got sick, he had to be put in a nursing home. And almost everybody that took care of him there were black.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And he changed 180 degrees. God got into his life. He got Jesus in his heart. Because he saw the kindness of these women, mainly women, that were taking care of him.
Yeah.
And he had some other old guys in there, like old white guys in there that were still yelling horrible things, calling them names and stuff.
Yeah.
And he saw that and then recognized, thank God, in himself before he died.
Amen.
That's right.
How he was. But it took that, and he was in his probably 80. But anyway, Juneteenth, I'm one of those people, I really appreciate Juneteenth, because I just think, when I think about what slavery did and how it tore lives apart and families apart and was so degrading, Juneteenth is, we should all honor.
All
Yeah.
honor. Since you said segregation, I met with George Wallace when he was governor.
Did you really? You met
Yes.
George Wallace?
Oh, yeah, shook his hand. After he got I met him before he got shot.
Right.
After he got shot, he was a different man.
Was he? Did it change his life?
Changed his life 100%.
Wow.
George Wallace said, he told me, he said, Curtis Smith is your representative. Go tell Curtis,
Mr.
go
Curtis,
tell
I
Curtis to help you up there in Chilton County. That's what George Wallace told me. And before that, he said segregation today, tomorrow, and forever.
Yeah.
But after he got shot, a light shined on him like it did Paul, I guess, when Paul was headed to Damascus.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Sometimes we're all a victim in a sense of the way we're brought up in some ways.
Yeah.
It's that divine guidance, I think, that it hits you that can change you.
Yeah.
But some people, like me, it takes a lot. You got to get whacked upside the head, or something really serious. Poor George Wallace, he had to have a life-changing event that crippled him and changed his whole perspective before he let it come in.
But I think also one of the things that is vital to our understanding is these are the type conversations that
We got to have.
that are meaningful.
I agree.
That
We gotta
really
sit down
mean
and
something. When we can sit publicly and discuss the things that concern us and the things that burden us the most. Now, it's almost like we can't be like an ostrich. You'll stick his head in
you're
the
right.
sand and
That's
pretend
right.
like that
Everything's
racism
fine.
doesn't happen. That all the things that. and this is not just a one-sided thing. You
No.
know,
No, it's not.
We as a black community have a responsibility
We do.
as well to be able to uphold the creed that we're asking for.
That's right.
So at the same time, all we are asking for is an opportunity to be treated equally to the things. I had the opportunity. I grew up right here in Clanton before I embarked upon my military journey. So I started the school in 1971. That was the second year of integration.
Yes, it was.
Schools
Yeah.
were integrated in Alabama in 1970. So
I guess that's true.
So our trend, started us on that course. So we actually lived through a lot of things that we were probably so young and innocent that we really didn't realize the magnitude of the effect
of the changes that
it
were
had
coming on.
That's right.
So now that I have children your age, now I have a responsibility to, number one, expose them to the truth.
Now tell the truth.
Let's tell the
Tell
truth.
the truth.
We can't
Don't
mask
show-
it
just like you
under
did.
any political affiliation or anything of that nature. Let's tell the truth, what really happened.
Yeah.
So once we have these type dialogues and we can sit down and publicly show our genuine concern for one
Amen.
another, then we can start to determine
To
what's
grow.
the best course for us to grow together.
Grow
Yeah.
together.
Well, Leonard, I just believe, we all want the same thing in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think people
absolutely.
forget that. They build walls
Absolutely.
and barriers. They can do it on religion. They can do it on race. They can
Yeah,
do it on
that's right.
culture.
Yeah.
Those walls tend to be like your head in the sand. You don't want to look over that wall or through that wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But when you find out, when you really sit down and talk to people, I don't care white or black, whatever you're religious or not religious or whatever, everybody kind of wants the same thing. They want to live their life. They want
Yeah.
respect.
That's all.
They want to be happy. They want to
That's right.
survive with grace. Many people, of course, want to have God or Jesus in their life or their religion, and it's all this. We all kind of want the
so-
same thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand sometimes why people can't see the commonality we all share.
Right.
All they look at the differences.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
And I
right.
don't get
dog.
that.
Right.
The differences sometimes make life rich and full and
That's
and,
what
and
yeah.
enjoyable.
That's right.
That's the uniqueness of us all, that we are different. The country was founded upon immigrants.
Immigrant.
Yeah.
Darn right
That's
it
right.
was.
Immigrant. That's right.
The whole essence of the position that we placed ourselves in now is how to be able to stay focused on what's good about America, what's
Right.
good about what we believe, what's good about Alabama. And
Yeah.
I was born and raised here.
Me too.
Spent 20 years traveling around the world, seeing different parts of the world that I would have ordinarily never been able to
Oh
see.
yeah, I hadn't thought of
But
that.
it
right.
was something about coming back home.
Yep.
Coming back home to do the work that God has called me to do into wherever space and place that I can find opportunity.
Yeah.
But I wanna really truly in my heart to make a plea to us all. Let's start having more dialogue.
Yeah.
Let's start
Yeah.
talking about
Let's talk about
what's
it.
really going on. God has allowed me to pastor a church and to be able to be a spiritual leader for many. But I believe that it's time for us to be able to come together and to be on one accord, because the greatest commandment that Jesus left us is to love one another.
Right.
That's
Love
right.
thy
To
God with all
love
thy
God
heart.
with all of our hearts,
Then love
minds,
ye
and
one
soul,
another.
and
Well-
to love one another.
That's right.
So without that really true, sincere essence of love, we can't start healing behind policy. We can't
No.
start healing behind.
Well, I don't know why we
behind
can't
acts.
sit down and have open and honest
Yeah.
dialogue.
Dollar, you're going to have to put it together.
Well,
I just
and this may
You
be
know,
a
when you
great
put
platform
light-
for it.
you gonna
have to
put
Honestly.
light on stuff.
And I appreciate
it
all.
opens
I
things
do.
up, and
Yes, sir.
there's no challenging. There's no defensive or offensive.
Right.
You just
Yeah.
want to talk and understand
Right.
what everybody feels, and then
That's
you work
right.
it
Feel
out.
it, Puff.
Now, Robert, you said your dad was that far.
Oh, he
out
was
of
old.
slavery.
His dad was about
You-
93 when he
Yeah,
died.
You have
that's right.
seen real change in your
Yes,
life.
I have.
I mean, he's young. Listen, you were born.
61.
61.
Yeah, you,
I've seen it.
when you went into school, I was graduating. I was going to college when you were.
Right.
You know, you've seen
when
like
he
I
went
have,
into school,
huge change.
I was in New York, and they had Ralph Abernathy in jail.
Yeah.
They called 100 foot soldiers. I was one of the foot soldiers who went to New York to protest to get Ralph Abernathy out of jail. After King had got killed.
Wow.
But Abernathy tried to take over. They wanted him to lead.
Right.
He just wasn't leadership ability like King.
Right.
And
nobody was.
No, ain't nobody
Yeah,
stepped
there
in
was
his foot.
nobody like
Nobody. And anyway, we went and protested, and we went in the church. The church was upstairs, and the liquor store was downstairs. I thought that was, I seen that. I said, dog, them boys in the South wouldn't take that laying down. I said, they think it's
Liquor store downstairs under a church.
Yeah. But
I don't know. Some of my friends would love that.
But anyway, I protested. I got out in '68, and when they was going to close the training school, I protested against that. I was the only one. They laughed me out of the room. I was the only one. I didn't want to integrate. I was the only one.
Really?
Because I knew we wasn't there yet.
Integrate?
I didn't want to integrate because I knew we wasn't there yet. We got to integrate. Our heart got to purify first.
Yeah.
Before we can come together as one, you got to purify the heart.
Yeah, you're right.
And so we wasn't there. It should have took another 10 or 15 years before we closed that school down.
Man.
And not saying it was, I just thought it wasn't time.
Yeah.
There is a time when things can reasonably work or not. Uh-oh, I hear music.
Y'all are busy
Cut that off. Cut that phone off. That's
the right button.
Cut
Turn it
it
off.
off. Turn that phone.
Okay.
You know, I worked.
I'm sorry.
No,
You're
no,
all
it's
right.
fine. I worked in Selma, Alabama. Let's see, in the mid '70s. So it was only like 8 or 9 years after the Bloody Sunday.
I was there. I was at
Were you there?
Bloody
Well, I
Sunday.
worked at the radio station in Selma for a few years, and I remember in that town there was still such racial strife.
Yeah.
There was still horrible. There were guys that would still during a march or even a celebration like MLK, Martin Luther King Day. There were guys that would just put horrible signs in their yard and stand out there with a machine gun,
Yeah, they
or
did that.
just to be
Intimidate.
intimidated.
Yeah.
Intimidate.
And I thought, why are you doing? I mean, if you're against it, if you're a racist and you're against it, just stay inside
And just
watch
let
TV
us get
and,
by
not-
it.
and let them. Why be so mean about it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was a lot of problems in that town.
Oh,
And when
yes.
I left, I left in '77, I think, and went to another city. But I remember leaving Selma, and they were in a decline because at that point they'd closed the big Air Force base.
They sure
Craig Air
did.
Force
Craig,
Base.
they sure did.
And when Craig closed that poor town,
It just died.
died.
It died.
It really did.
And it hadn't come back
It
yet.
hadn't.
I do a market down there. I do a farmer's market
Do
in
you?
Selma right now.
They're
I
still
go down-
struggling.
They're still struggling.
are.
They still divided.
Yep.
A divided house of fall.
They
Yeah.
still have problems.
They got
And
problems.
I also went to Marion Military Institute in Marion, which is Coretta Scott King's hometown.
Hometown.
A lot of people know it's also one of the hometowns of Sam Houston, who founded Texas.
That's right.
And he married a Marion girl. He lived in Marion for a while, and he went to Texas.
Yeah.
And of course, just there's a lot of history down there.
It is.
That town is struggling because they didn't have any industry, and now one of the colleges, there was 2 colleges, one closed. Marion's doing well, but that poor little town just
It ain't
struggles, and
surviving.
it's very, very segregated.
It is. It is.
It's very
And
segregated.
That in the South is still a lot of segregation, but people got to put it all on the table, talk about it, and see what difference there is. Most of us, the bloodline run cross white and black together. It's a lot of white folk got black blood in them. A lot of black folk got white blood in them.
That's right.
And I'd say this: my granddaddy was white.
Is that right? Well, didn't Thomas Jefferson have some
Oh,
children
a
about
slew of 'em.
Annie? What's her name? The
Yeah.
girl.
So, and a lot of that is just stems from us not really
Talking.
really
Engaging.
engaging in,
Right.
and being able to embrace what's before
What's
us.
that?
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge that we have right now is forging our future.
Right.
It's forging
That's
our
right.
future.
That's right.
So we can spend so much time on the past past and talk about what happened and the things.
Let it-
And it's always good to know your
You
history,
learn from the
to
past.
know where
You're
you
right.
came from.
You learn.
So you won't repeat the same things
Bingo.
in the future.
Not the same
moving
mistakes.
forward.
Not the same
so,
mistake.
So we're here in this Juneteenth setting to understand that this is not just a black thing. It's not just a white thing, but it's a
Humanity.
American thing.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's not a black versus white.
Right.
No.
And that's what.
And
what
some
it
people
becomes.
put it that way. They want to
You
say
know,
this.
Yeah.
and sadly to say, I was reading an article on the social media that there was a white gentleman that walked into a space, and his first comments were, Juneteenth, y'all, I guess y'all gonna shoot each other up. You know,
Gosh.
so and to say that in the presence of a group of black people,
That's
it's
intimidating,
it's
crude,
insulting,
and it's
Yeah.
you know,
insulting.
Yeah.
so just not even being mindful enough of the things that, even if you thought that,
Why would you say it?
say something
Yeah.
like that?
Leonard, what happened
a lot
to
of-
politeness in society? What happened to
Yeah.
people looking toward the kind way of
Right.
talking to
Yeah.
other people rather than always
always
going after the
hard.
mean
Always
way or the
going
harsh
after
way?
the- yeah.
Well, and a
I
lot
just-
of people forget just because you think it don't mean you have to say it.
That's
That's
exactly
And that's
right.
on all aspects, not just
And even
Race
even,
or your
even
opinions.
it even comes down to, it's not what you say, it's
How you say
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
It's how you say it. Now I can ask you certain things that I might be curious about if you really want to know about Juneteenth, instead of just
Assuming.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Why
that's
don't you
smart.
ask? Because see, this is where we even as a people have to be able to educate and inform
Educate ourselves.
ourselves.
I was going to
about-
say that's
That's
not
right,
just
yeah.
a black and white issue. That's
Right.
everybody. Everybody in the black community needs to know what
What-
Juneteenth
There
is.
you go.
And
It's
I
a
was-
historical.
I was sharing with Robert before we came on. Well, we have a responsibility to even educate our own people.
Own people.
about-
There you go.
If you ask 10 young black citizens, what does Juneteenth mean and what is it? I'm not sure that the response is going to be what
I
you
wanna
really
hear.
wanna hear.
You know, Leonard,
Because-
I think it's something about young people now. I don't think you could ask them what anything is. You know what? I've seen some of these memes where they bring these young people and they say, "Who was the first president of the United States?" One of them said Abraham Lincoln, and they'd say, "Well, it just all these just things you should know."
It just,
Yeah.
And
They
the
don't
young
know it.
people don't. They're not taught it, I guess, in school anymore. I don't know what's going on.
I know what's going on. They depending on that smartphone
Yeah.
and the computer.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
there
right.
you go.
That's what's
Social
going on.
media has
Social
Yeah.
It has
media.
taken such a front line.
That's what they depend on.
I've kind of depended on it too.
Dependency in our lives,
Yeah.
especially Taylor's generation.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just live
They
on it.
showing up.
If-
I call them the Gen Z.
Yeah, if social media stops, then they stop.
They
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The world
Well,
would
you-
end without social media.
Well, you
Or
know,
at least
here's the
that's
deal.
what we
Robin
think.
and I certainly, maybe Leonard, we remember when there were no cell phones.
I remember when
I remember payphones were the way to go.
Yeah,
and
it
I
wasn't even
remember
that.
when didn't have a phone.
Didn't have a phone. If you had one, it was one in the house, and it had a cord to
And
it,
you had to.
and everyone heard everything. You couldn't talk to your.
yeah.
I
Had
used to
those
have to
open
try
lines.
to. I have to
Yeah.
try to grab the phone and slide around so my mother wouldn't hear me talking to my girlfriend, or something.
I tell you what I did. We had that party line then. You know that.
Oh, yeah,
Open
everybody
line.
came.
Open line.
And it was a lady loved to talk. I told her one day, I said, Miss George, let me make one phone call.
You come back after I finish.
I said, you can come back. I said, I'm not going to be on long.
My mother-in-law was the one on the party line listening to everybody's
Oh, yeah.
business.
That was
still talks
I
about
kind of
it.
wish we had him again. I like when I need some entertainment. I want to listen.
See what's going on.
See what-
She said her sisters would hear her breathing and be like, "Hang up that phone."
Yeah. So
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
no,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead. Go ahead, Taylor.
That was something that I was going to bring up too is social media. A lot of times, social media can be good,
Oh, yeah.
but we see negative and things that people are commenting and saying that really don't apply in our real life, especially where we live. And I think that affects. I feel like it affects me as a parent because I don't know what I can and can't say or can and can't be part of without thinking, okay, is this racist? You see a lot of people online saying stealing culture and all of that. So as a parent of a one growing up, and I want to teach him, you know, how he can be a part of this and how he can make a difference. What are some things that we can do to celebrate Juneteenth? Or just to stay integrated all together?
I think just be open enough to be supportive of the things that you have a passion for, that you have an interest for, you know. And this is not something that we should be able to just shove down your throat and just make you be a part.
No.
But if you
can shove some of that barbecue down there.
But if you have
you get that pig off the grill, you can shove that down my throat all day long.
But the things, and I think what really comes to mind is that everyone should have a compassion of just human decency.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Of
That's
just
right.
the
That's
understanding
Yes,
that we're all in this thing together. God says we were all created in the likeness of His image.
That's right.
So if there is a difference, it's only on the outward.
Right.
But inwardly,
We
He
should
is
be
still looking at our hearts.
at our
He is
heart.
still determining.
We all bleed red.
So
Yeah.
so if you
Don't we,
really
darling?
want to give them anything, give them how to just love and respect a person for really truly who they are.
Good deal.
Because once a person shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe
Yeah.
them. That's who they are.
That
Oprah
is
Winfrey said, not that girl.
Maya
said.
Angelou.
Maya Angelou
Maya
said that.
Angelou
Yeah, right.
said that. So it just comes to a place of being able to teach your children to have a passion and a compassion for something or a situation, and then you'll start to see how they kind of gravitate to certain things, or how they pull away from certain things and certain actions, you know, because the influence is out there.
Yeah.
Because you know the culture is going to influence them one way or the other.
Right.
But the positive effect that we can have is to be able to just give them what's right, what's true, and the things that will really truly make an impact on our lives, because that's all we want for all of our children,
Right.
is
Yeah.
to be impactful in this life.
Yeah, in
together.
a positive way.
In a positive way.
Positive.
That's right. To have a positive impact on whatever it is that we have set out to do, you know, with one another and for one another.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking with Robert and Leonard this morning about Juneteenth parade today at noon, and you know it's a big holiday, so there's no mail and all that today, and that's all we're doing is chatting about that and talking about it. And I appreciate you guys coming in and talking with us. We're going to
Yes,
take a
sir.
break. We'll be back with more right here at Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem.
All right.
Looking for the perfect way to unwind, compete, and have fun with friends or family? Then Putter Up Pelham is your next destination. Whether you're a mini golf pro or just out for a good time, Putter Up offers a one-of-a-kind indoor putting experience with custom effects lighting, sounds, and robotics at each hole, plus automated scoring and a virtual caddy to guide your game. And our ADA-compliant courses include special putters for individuals using wheelchairs or walkers, so everyone can join the fun from ages 4 to 100. Rain or shine, day or night, it's always game time at Putter Up. Come for the fun, stay for the challenge. Swing by Putter Up, where every stroke counts. Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness 205-651-0077 or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Well, we are back. It is 7:42, 18 minutes now before 8 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. Thank you for watching and listening to Piper Peach Radio's Morning Mayhem on this Juneteenth celebration Friday as we go into the weekend. And it could be rainy on and off. I hope it'll be nice for your parade today. And anybody out barbecuing, cooking, whatever. You know, you always want the holidays to be, nice to enjoy it. But, you know, rain or shine, you can still do it. And it can still make it a great time. But we thank y'all for being here. We're talking about race relations in general when we talk about Juneteenth.
I thought you cut it off.
That's pretty. I need to get mine to do that.
I'm on the radio right now. Call me back.
There you go. Well, Juneteenth, a lot of people do think of it as a black holiday. And as Leonard, as you said, this is not a black holiday. It is a holiday for all of us to recognize the history of slavery and the Civil War and the freedom that was finally granted enslaved people. And so it is a historical benefit for all of us to celebrate that moment because everyone knows that slavery was abhorrent and horrible and shouldn't have happened, but it did.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So I appreciate y'all coming in and talking so candid with us. And during the break, we were talking, and Taylor said, I have trouble sometimes asking racial questions because I don't want to appear to be, rude or some. And you had a great comment about discourse in general, about as long as it comes from the heart and it's not meant to be negative.
Well, just a genuine interest in what you're desiring to learn, and because sometimes we can ask questions with a ulterior motive not to learn, but to either denigrate or to insult.
Yeah.
So, but if you're asking a question just from a genuine concern of something that you desire to know, so ask it in a way that's respectful to whoever you're dialoguing with, and then and I believe in turn you get a respectful answer.
I agree. I agree.
So because that's the only way that this dialogue works, and this in this kind of environment is that if we're going to have dialogue, that means that we have to be able to sit down and listen to one another.
That's
you
right.
have to be able to hear what I say, and I have to be able to hear what you say. So the Bible says that we should sit and reason together.
Right.
If we reason together, that means that I have to take an interest in your position, and you have to also take an interest in my position.
Leonard, how bad do stereotypes get in the way of that?
Greatly.
Yeah,
Greatly.
I would think so.
And it's twofold.
Well, it's
I
on
think-
both sides,
Yeah,
right?
on both sides, because
It ain't one
a lot of
side.
things, that we see in the black or white community, we see a lot of things that we assume about people.
Right. By the way, I can't dance.
Yeah, so that is true.
That's true.
I can't jump and I can't dance. So
That's true.
But when you start stereotyping, you just automatically assume
Right.
that this person is this way.
Yeah.
But when you sit down and talk to them, then you start to realize, well, you know what, man, this guy's, Brother Benyon and I hadn't always seen everything eye to eye.
no, do people do that?
We should. Because if my position is always
I don't know
going
how
to
to cut it
be
off.
that we
Call me back.
can't agree to disagree on certain things, and that's the same way with us with our dialogue with one another. But we learn from each other.
Yeah.
We learn how to be able to
Yeah.
to respectfully
Right.
disagree with each other and not to tear each other down.
Listen, Leonard, I have had some of the worst arguments with my family members over everything, politics, religion, everything, food. It doesn't matter. We've had knockdown, dragouts, and that's
fights.
family members.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know that can happen to individual to individual. Now, we didn't always do it with great respect, but you know, when it was over, it's all hugs and handshakes
that's
and all
right,
that.
that's right.
I think there's nothing wrong if you have a passion about anything in life, and sometimes you show that passion.
That's right.
But there is a line you should never. It's like in a marriage. There's some things you can't unsay.
Yeah.
There's some things you
That's right.
can't
No,
undo. You
that's
can't
right.
unring a bell.
That's
That's
right.
true.
And so
That's right.
when you do have discourse, I don't care how passionate you are, if you are racist, both black or white
That's right.
racist, know that there's a line that you can state why you are feeling the way you do, but do it with respect and
That's
don't
right.
get personal about
No,
it.
no.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
And that's what
I think when it goes personal is when things really
Yeah.
get
Out of hand.
hand.
It gets out of hand.
It does get out of hand.
Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
I got to say this about one of my sponsors, McKenna, have sponsored me in the King Day Parade and this parade she put in the car. My other sponsors, they look at me like I'm crazy when I ask them about sponsoring.
But
me.
McKinnon
Yeah.
has
But
always.
McKenna have really stepped up to the bat. The lady have stepped up to the bat.
I'm glad to know that because I bought 2 cars from them.
And you know, after she sponsored us in the King, but I took my grandson and bought a car for him.
There you go. You know, scratch your back, I'll
Yeah.
scratch
Yeah.
it. And I like to know that there's that kind of,
Yeah,
and that's
that
smart
kind of
business
support.
too.
Yeah.
by
That's
the way.
smart business. She's smart.
You know
lady.
what?
Absolutely.
It is.
Because we all have a profound effect upon one another.
We do.
Whether we because there are things that economically we need from each
Right.
other, socially
Each
that
other.
we need,
Socially.
Yeah.
spiritually that we need from each other, and we have to find that common ground. We
That's
have to
right.
find that common place.
As a pastor, let me ask you this. As a counseling pastor, I'm sure many people come to you and ask for support, advice, counsel. How do you deal with the negativity that so many young people have now, especially racially, because again, this stupid device that we carry like it's our kidney,
Like it's our
Bible, can accentuate negatives as well as positive. You know,
Yeah.
they always said that this kind of communication was going to be a revolution because we could all be one together, and it's turned out it's polarized us more than a lot of ways in it, because it also accentuates those people who don't have to say that they can say anything and feel like they don't have to be held accountable.
Right.
Yeah.
Young people, if you do they come to you and ask about being treated badly, racism, just general life questions? How do you deal with the negativity of the world today?
Sure, because it does happen, and but one of the things that I always try to do is try to always turn their focus back towards Christ, and because that is truly our answer. So and a lot of times you have to do that in a way where you're not necessarily taking the Bible and kind of beating them over
You
the
don't
head
want to
with it.
preach to
You
them.
don't want to
No.
preach to them,
Yeah, that's
but
out.
you want to be able to get them to see things from a perspective of what can you do to make the situation better? What
Yeah.
can you do to calm the situation and not get it to a place that it's so volatile now that we can't get back.
De-escalated,
De-escalated.
but still be reasonable about it.
And you can only do that through the love that Christ puts in our heart to be able to withstand certain things, because sometimes people will say things out of, when I say ignorance, I'm not necessarily saying it from an insulting way, but just not knowledgeable of the things that are presented to them in our society.
Well, and let's face it, sometimes, Leonard, people are mean.
Yeah, they are.
I mean,
they are.
Some people shoot that stuff out because they're frustrated, they're mad, or they just don't care. They're mean.
And in a lot of instances, that's just what they've been taught.
Right.
That's all they've been taught.
That's just what they've been taught. But then on the flip side, we got some young black people that they're not going to take that because that's what they've been taught.
That's right.
Right.
And that's when you're going to have the conflict. That's when you're going to have the place. So once we can kind of get them to kind of understand there's a better way for us to resolve this thing. You know, Dr. King took a nonviolent approach, but
Bingo.
Malcolm X was totally different. So in his
Till
approach,
after he went to Mecca.
but that's right. But in his understanding, they were still fighting the same
Same
battle.
Right.
battle.
They were
Same
still-
battle, different strategies.
Different strategy,
Yeah,
different
different
approach.
approach.
Until
Yeah.
he saw an enlightenment that showed him that well, maybe my approach was
Wrong.
was a little
It was.
off as far as how to be able to really effectively
Bingo.
get the message across.
Yeah.
And that's what we as pastors have to figure out.
Yeah.
How do we effectively counsel them and give them the word of God without beating them up,
Being too
condemning them.
preachy, but or also not being
Right.
too soft.
Right.
Not soft on
Not
them.
soft.
Tell them the truth.
Tell them the
So
truth.
you gotta
Tell
give
them the truth. Now I can use, since you're on the subject, about young folk. I won't be young anymore. I'm 77.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So here's what it is. On election day, I got to bring this in because young folks shocked me. They shocked me how they went to the poll and voted Republican with me. We voted. I had about 60 folks to turn and vote Republican. We was trying to get Miss Michelle elected.
There you go.
And the vote is off. I can say that on this TV. On what I'm talking, the vote is off. 80 votes in that box. 240. Y'all need to check it. Check it.
That close.
No, it's and she only lost by 8 votes, but it's 80 votes and 240 that they done misplaced.
Oh, really? I
It's
didn't know
8
that.
and I'm telling you, if they'll look at the hard copy, the sheet what tallies the votes when you vote. Look at that. Don't look at the calculated votes. That little old machine you stick in the back of the machine, that's got it off.
Yeah.
So
And
are
I
they going
had-
to do a recount?
I don't know. I hadn't talked to anybody, but I'm asking for them to
Yeah.
just look at my box, 240. That's all I'm asking. If you look at 240, it'll decide the election.
There you go.
And on that day, about 10 blacks were sitting around. You know how they sit around at the bootleggers. I go anywhere, bootlegger, and get them. I don't discriminate. I go where they are. And I went in there and talked about 30 minutes to him. Mr. Bennett, I can't vote. I got a felon. Call it Board of Registrar. No, he can vote. But they make excuses. They don't want to vote.
Yeah, that's a lot
They
of
don't,
people.
they don't
is a lot
want
of
to
people.
vote.
The turnout
But-
was really low.
They was
And
extremely low.
And then after I got through talking to him, I had 10 young black men follow me to that poll, and they voted Republican.
Very good. Republican.
And you know blacks don't vote Republican.
Well,
not most of
Not
them in this
nowadays.
town.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
in this town.
Republican was
That's our
Lincoln.
ticket.
That was Lincoln's.
That was
Yeah, he
our
was a
ticket.
Republican. And it's funny how things have changed
Yeah.
over the years. You
Over
know,
the years,
switched
it's-
places.
yeah.
But could you, before we leave, could you tell me where those bootleggers live? So
Yeah, I could. I'll tell you.
I want to go be a part of that too.
I ain't gonna.
I want to go talking
I ain't gonna snitch on. I ain't gonna snitch on.
Well, you know, it's funny when you talk about, we talk about racial problems, but a lot of it really comes down to, well, I guess it'd be social distance. You know, there's still so much. It kills me that you see so much segregation still, and it's voluntary. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of, and you want to be with people you're comfortable with, but a lot of black neighborhoods are still black. A lot of white neighborhoods are still mostly white. And I don't, in this day and time, I don't quite understand that. And then you see the cultural differences that we tend to have. There's black culture and there's white culture, and, you know, they just seem so opposed to each other sometimes. The radicals.
They
You know, the ones that are really, I'm going to say, it sounds crazy, really white. And then the ones that are really
we
black.
got some real black folks out there.
You do.
They
that's the problem, I
That's
think,
the
like
problem.
with religion.
That's the problem.
It's with anything. When you have the radical in either end,
Either way.
that's the hardest. It's the people in the middle that are so alike and feel the same way that I think is going to be the strength of everything
That's
in this.
right.
Yeah.
When you can get people who are right there moderate in the middle, aren't so angry,
That's
aren't
right.
so racist, aren't
Right.
so
Right.
frustrated. I don't know what all that is, but I do know that if you could get the middle together, that's the majority of people, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we
Don't
can.
you think it is?
We can find the common ground. That's
Yeah.
right.
Let's
That's
meet
right.
meet in the middle,
That's
find common ground,
Yeah,
and go from there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into. I'm celebrating the 250 years, but I want it to be different the next 200.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it should be.
I don't want to have, you know.
And that's something that I want to touch on. Because we celebrate Juneteenth does not disqualify us from celebrating 4th of July.
Right.
No.
We're gonna celebrate.
So just the same freedoms that I served for, that, you know, I did that under the American flag.
Right.
Darn right.
And
Well,
I did that because
I want to say we should all say, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we all should say thank you to all our veterans,
veterans.
Absolutely.
black and white,
Everybody that
Hispanic,
served. Everybody that
Asian,
served.
men and women, whatever.
Whatever.
Thank them for our freedoms,
For their
because
service,
you
for
fought
their
for
service.
me to have the freedom to
freedom
feel
that
any
I-
way I want to feel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So that's the only thing that this 250-year celebration, it's not like it doesn't mean something.
We're all Americans.
It
Because
means
we're all
something to me.
here.
Yeah.
We're all here. We all have made our contributions to this. But Juneteenth just kind of emphasizes a little bit different perspective for us as African Americans.
Right.
And I just
Well,
refer to it as this is the nothing more than this country living up
Living
to its
up.
I was going to
creed.
say, Leonard,
Yeah.
it's also, it should be just as important to white people in this country, because what it proves is that at that point in time, we all became the same Americans. We all shared the same destiny.
destiny.
And
That's
so at that point, it's just as important for everyone that's an American to recognize Juneteenth, because it's look how many white as well as black people died during the Civil War to figure out how to get it fixed. Southerners died because they were trying to support the old system, and that's a shame. So many Northerners died to try to get the freedoms, and in the end, it all worked out the way it should have.
Yeah.
There should have not ever been slavery. And now we can celebrate the fact that by the Juneteenth celebration is the final moment where the last of the people still enslaved found out they were free. And it was
Yeah.
3
months
years.
later.
3 years.
Yeah.
900 days.
3 years.
Yeah. Well, of course, in the South, I guess it was 3 years after legal, but it was
Yeah.
only about, let's see, April to August is in the South, because that's when they lost the war.
Yeah,
So they were still enslaved until the war was over. It's a shame. I mean,
Yes,
but
it
it's like you said, it's not black and white. It's historical.
Yeah, yeah.
And it proves a final moment of a tragic time in our country.
Yes,
And I'm talking about tragic, not the Civil War, the slavery from 1600s till that moment.
Yeah.
To that moment. That's right.
Listen, we're out of time. We got to run, but we want to
man.
thank you so much,
Thank
both
you.
of you,
Yes,
for
sir.
having
You're welcome.
the courage to come in here.
Oh,
'Cause, it takes guts to talk about this like we're talking
Yeah.
about it here, with no pretense and no
script.
Yeah.
No,
No
I love
right.
it, and
I do too.
And it opens it up to everybody, and it proves we're all looking for the same thing. We want to have a good life, and we want to have
Amen.
Christ centered. In my
Yeah,
case, I
amen.
think.
I wanted it in my.
I want
I couldn't go.
everybody.
I won't go nowhere without him.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Well, y'all have a good
You
Day
have-
to day, I told
see
Lorraine,
you-
don't mess up your parade.
I see you at the
Well,
parade.
tell us
I see
again
you-
where we can see you at the parade. Where is it starting? Where is it going
Mr.
to?
Binion.
Starts at
We
noon.
start through the Gracious Garden Ministry at noon. We line up. We go from there, 2nd Avenue, down to Martin Luther King, and we go on into the West End Park. And Mr. Leonard, he won't say it, but he's my guest speaker.
There you go.
He won't say it, I say it.
The guest speaker. Did you know that until just now?
No, I let him know yesterday.
He wouldn't have set me up that bad.
No, I was
But yeah,
Oh, I don't know. They'll hit
but
you
I
with
do,
stuff.
I do enjoy, being able to share the historical parts of our experiences and the things that we've been able to just bring together, and I look forward to us having more dialogue. I
Yeah.
pray that
Me too.
God
I'm
gives
putting
us
you
an
in charge of it.
opportunity to,
Well, we'll see.
He's in
to
charge
come
of
We
it.
may
back
have to do
sometime
that.
in,
Yeah,
in
you're the
another,
man,
in
dog.
another setting, another time,
you got an
whatever
open mind.
the case is. But,
Absolutely.
but thank y'all so much for having us, and
Thank
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
We really
you.
enjoyed it.
for
Let me-
giving us an opportunity.
Thank y'all. I got
Yes.
to answer
You
some
got
calls.
to
Oh,
take
you
phone
got
calls.
calls.
You've been a
You got
busy
calls
man.
to make.
Thank
Well,
y'all.
we're gonna run out. It's 8:01. Thank you for watching and listening.
Yes, I do
God
want to
bless
say though, even if you have kids of any age, take them to the parade today because I took my son to the Martin Luther King Jr.
Oh,
parade,
wow.
and he
That's
loved
good.
it, and he wanted to know why more people wasn't there.
Well,
so definitely go
he-
pack the streets.
Yeah.
He didn't
And-
come on down in the end. It was
No,
over 500.
we were headed out of town that day,
It was
but
500 down.
he
All
did
right.
enjoy it.
Well, thank
so,
you.
Y'all, thank y'all for inviting me.
thank y'all so much.
God bless y'all, and I'm gonna get out here and make some phone calls.
He's got some
Thank
phone
you for the
calls to
show.
take care of.
Thank you
Yes.
for the show.
So, are we live or are we going off? All right.
Just ended, he said.
It's 8:02.
No.
You've been tuning in to Morning Mayhem. Thank y'all so much for watching.